Hi guys, I'm Janerika Owens here with Players Lounge, and I'm here with Aaron and Warren. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Doing good, man. I'm finally happy to be on the other side of interviewing. People see me like do my show and stuff, so it's good to get my point of view.
What about you, Aaron?
I enjoy being on this side. Don't let this. He gets his point of view across on his show too. So don't act like he just is all just asking questions over here. You enjoy being the host.
We were talking about giving people their shine and not taking the pressure off me.
It's true. It's true. Now we get to let him shine a little bit. So I'll try to be the number 2 here and let you shine on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, Warren, it's your show, and I just wanted to know, how did you get into media? What made you get into media?
I feel like what made me get into media, like as a kid growing up, people always said I have a personality. I used to do like crazy stuff. And I mean, coming into college, I wanted to get into like sports broadcasting and in that world. And I took a turn. I changed it to like a real estate base, but I always had in the back of my mind like, hey, I want to get into broadcast. I want to get into broadcasting. And with the opportunities that NIL brought to the table, it allowed me to be able to show my personality. I had the opportunity during, I'm gonna say, the SC Championship where I just took the microphone from the media people and went around and did an interview with my coaches. They had me come back. The next week for the playoff game. I did the same thing. And then after the national championship, CBS Sports was there. And I was like, man, I've been on a roll lately with these last 3 weeks of doing interviews. I think it was Brady Quinn, Danny Cannell, and then some other ball guy. We kicked him off. And I got in between them, and I basically just did a whole interview. It went crazy viral. Like, I didn't even know they were recording. But I just did like a mock interview with them. I did it good, and all the comments in there were just like, this guy needs to be on TV, this guy needs to do broadcasting, this guy needs to do this. And then long story short, Aaron reached out about getting a show, and I was like, bro, this is my opportunity. It's been put in my face. I might as well take it around with it. And now we're here, sitting down.
And Beyond the Edges,
wow.
it is an awesome show. So for those who haven't seen it, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it is so good because of the personality. I think that's what today's media is about. It's less cookie cutter. It's more of, we want to hear from the voices of the players, and we don't want to hear quote unquote coach speak. Like, we want to actually enjoy listening to guys that have a good personality, that are in the locker room, that can sit down with another one of his teammates and make that guy comfortable. And I think that's what you do so well. I think that's the number one key is, can you make the person you're interviewing comfortable? And it's hard not to feel like that when you sit down with Warren. Like, what's your mindset when you do sit down with someone? I feel like it's like that.
I think in order to break any like uncomfortable feelings with somebody, you got to make them laugh.
Yeah.
If I make anybody laugh, I know I can ask you any questions, because that's when people are most vulnerable, when they're actually laughing for themselves and being like a real genuine person. So if you can make somebody laugh and giggle, like, it just helps a lot. I mean, you just got to just keep hitting them with questions. Give them
It's a little giggle. Give me a giggle.
Give them like an open-minded question. Let them be able to think. Let them just be able to just do what they want to do. Yeah, just let them be themselves.
I know you mentioned you have to have personality, of course, and you mentioned that you wanted to be in broadcasting. Have you always been great in front of the camera? Because of course, being in front of the camera isn't easy, but obviously you have all the perks to do so. So have you always been great at that?
You wouldn't believe when I say this. I used to be like socially awkward. Like, it was very bad. But my friend Keely Ringo, he played for the Eagles now. Keely, he helped me come out my shell a lot. Helped me be able to perform in social settings. So it's not always been like this, but over time it's gotten a lot better.
Just reps, man. I still remember to this day, the first game I memorized my entire opening. I get on camera, and I slipped up like on word 3 or 4, and it sounded like I was speaking like a different language, like gibberish. And I just remember looking at my phone. My mom texts me, my biggest critic, and she goes, "I'm so sorry." And that was it. I was like, man, it was that bad. And then, just try to get better every single week. But like I tell the guys, man, it's just like anything. It's like playing football or whatever else you're doing in life. The more times you get in front of the camera, the more times you just try to be yourself and have fun, the better you're going to get. And kind of what I've learned now, too, during my 7 years, the person you're talking to, or at least for me during calling a game, my mindset is I'm having a beer, hot dog, and I'm chatting with a buddy, just calling a football game. And just relax, having fun, and that tends to be, when you're at your best.
Yeah, I feel like once you block the cameras out, then it's so much easier.
Yeah, it's not there.
Yeah.
Now, Warren, you know that social media is steadily changing. How is social media, able to build players' brand?
I think it's more taking the long form content and breaking it down into short form, funny moments, And I mean, in terms of building brands, social media gives you so much outreach to people. All it takes is one DM to make a connection. But even in person, we were just talking about it, you still want to be able to talk to people in person because you never know who's in the room with you, the people that are around you. So you always got to be able to talk. But social media just gives you the opportunity to connect with people on a global scale rather than, like, I'm from Savannah. It's not a small town, but it's a pretty small town in my eyes. So the people in Savannah, they probably couldn't get me where I needed to go. If I was in Savannah still, I can reach out to somebody like Aaron just with a DM. He can check it, he cannot, but maybe one day, maybe the right person will check it. So social media just helps athletes get into a global market and reach out to companies that can need them.
Well, it helps build your brand. Like if you know what you want to do, and nowadays you don't need a full camera crew. You don't need to be affiliated with a major organization. You can just create an Instagram or a TikTok or like a YouTube, and if you know what you're talking about and have the experience, you can shoot really good content which people want. So I think the ability to utilize your social media is, for people now more than ever, pivotal, because like once again, you don't have to go to school for it. You can just grab your iPhone and start shooting some content.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it just seems like you guys have more like a conversation instead of it being interviewed.
Yeah.
Of course, you guys are the greatest hosts, and you guys are leading by example this season. How do you guys feel like you will inspire others to create their own show? Because this is something that you guys are doing, building a brand, and Aaron, you're doing so by helping Warren.
Well, I think by just showing guys that you don't need to wait to, like myself, you don't have to wait till you're done playing football to get into media. Like if you want to get in the media now, once again, like you could just grab your iPhone and shoot. So kind of what we are helping the guys do at the Players Lounge and is give them the resources to be able to do it. Like Warren said, like to be able to do long form content and then chop it up into sociable clips does take time, and their time is precious. They got school, they got workouts, they got life in general they got to deal with. The last thing they need to do is shoot a show, edit it, cut it up, upload it to this and this and this and this and this. It's time consuming. It is work. It's almost being a social media influencer, a media member is a full-time job, which they have a full-time job. So kind of our goal is to take that off their plate, help them with that, and then just let them be their personality. So I think the more people see Makai's show and Warren's show, they see like, man, the quality's great. Those guys are awesome. They're building their brand on social. How do I become a part of it?
Yeah, I had a friend from Clemson ask me, how do I start my own show? I said, brother, take your phone, sit down with your teammates and start recording.
Yeah.
And just let the rest take its course.
Is that what is life outside of football with you? What are your goals outside of football? You mentioned in broadcasting. Is that something that you want to get into?
In the end of things, yes, I would love to be able to retire, sit down on the TV, and just talk sports. Because I mean, I played sports my whole life, so who else to hear it from better than a person who's played sports, or better than a person who's been on the biggest stage of them all, one of the biggest stages. I mean, that is my goal. My overall goal is to always be successful, and I think broadcasting will lead me to success.
Now, camp is coming up. Is this show going to be filmed during camp?
We've been talking about it, so we're gonna get some stuff done. I got some little microphones that we can use. I'm gonna try to get some sit downs. People gonna be tired after hard practice of just straight head busting and just hitting. But
you need to do a show in the hyperbaric chamber.
I'm not
Warren from the hyperbaric chamber, live from the hyperbaric chamber.
Maybe the sound quality would be too bad with the oxygen flowing in, but I'm probably gonna try to sit down with some of my teammates during camp, try to get some funny moments, ask some questions. Hopefully, I do a lot. I put out polls on Twitter asking fans like, "Hey, send me questions that y'all want to hear." So all I gotta do is use the social media to ask for questions, and boom, ChatGPT is now. But yeah, I definitely will film some stuff during camp.
Do you want to keep going?
Yeah, I think this is a time of year where people want to get the content, especially college football. And college football has turned into almost 365. Like the NFL has done so well because there's news on the NFL every day of the year. Free agency, guys getting traded, mega contracts, whatever it is. Like we talk NFL all year. I do think college football is getting to that point, but this is the meat of it. August through February really is people, especially in the South, man, they want anything you can give them when it comes to college football. Yeah. So like the shows have been great and we've been getting crazy views.
Like that one with
and it's not even football season, which is crazy.
That one clip we had with Dejan's like at 270,000 views right now.
And it is literally, if you ask people in the media, June, July are the worst months for football content.
Yes.
Just think what we're going to do when football comes around.
Yeah.
People want to hear from him.
Not for real.
Don't get too big of a head though.
I never. I'm always
don't get too
humble,
big of a head.
Man. Just always stay humble. I just like doing numbers though. Keep the numbers going up, y'all, with the camera.
Back-to-back national champs. Do you feel like that this team is underneath a lot of pressure?
Underneath a lot of pressure? Nah, because they tried to put pressure on us last year. It's just us finding our new foundation of who we are, finding our identity. Every team had a different identity. This team is full of new guys, a lot of young guys too, that I think the coach asked us, I think 70% of the guys on our team right now have not played in the game or something like that, something crazy. But no, it's no pressure. It's never any pressure. We're just going into the season one game at a time, trying to practice hard, and God, it pays off if you work hard. So we're just gonna work hard every game, one step at a time, and hopefully we have the same thing, the same success come.
What have practices been looking like? What are your expectations when it comes to this team?
I mean, we haven't really been practicing, so to say. We're Georgia track and football right now, so it's been a lot of running. It's just been a lot of running. I have no expectations. I mean, I'm just waiting for a camp to see what we really got going on, honestly.
And how are the younger guys looking, the guys that just came in?
And these younger guys are dogs. Like, I've never seen a group of freshmen who are so blessed, that are gifted athletically and physically. Like, I mean, these guys are going to be like, they're going to be like, in 3 years, I can't wait to see where they're at, honestly.
That's good. What do you say, Aaron?
Listen, going for that three-peat, there's that bullseye on the back, but there's also the sense of, to me, walking into a stadium with your chest up and people knowing that we're playing the champs. Yeah, the dogs here. Like, there is an intimidation factor, I would say. Like, I remember when Alabama had it for so long. When Alabama walked to the stadium, you knew Alabama was there.
People were coward to them, honestly.
Yeah. Like, Georgia walks into the stadium now, people know Georgia's there. Like, yeah, it may pump you up during the week, but when you look across the field, in the back of your mind, it's like, damn, those
them dogs.
Those are like back-to-back national champs.
And I promise, nobody practiced harder than us.
Yeah, it's
nobody
a mindset.
Works harder than us.
It's a mindset.
Yes.
Nobody works harder than us. Not one.
Aaron, Warren, thank you guys for tuning in today, and thank you guys for joining us with the Players Lounge.